NBA Youngboy. It has been a while since we talked about NBA Youngboy, about 3 months, and that's because he has been locked up. Now, it ain't a secret that NBA Youngboy has dealt with his fair share of legal issues over the past couple of years, really since he blew up, but he's really had some really big problems since he was caught back in 2020 in possession of a firearm during a music video shoot that he was doing in Baton Rouge. And at that time, police allegedly found him in possession of a 9mm handgun and a .45 caliber Glock. And the reason he wasn't allowed to have any weapons is because he's considered a felon, and he was barred from possessing any type of guns after an incident that happened in 2016 where he was involved in a shootout. So he was arrested in 2016 for the shootout. He was charged as a felon. He was barred from possessing guns, and then they caught him in 2020 at that video shoot in Baton Rouge in possession of 2 guns. And it wasn't just him at the time. They rounded up a bunch of people. I think it was like a dozen other people that were arrested at this time, and the police pulled up on them after they received reports from concerned neighbors that there was a group of young teens waving guns on Choctaw Drive in Baton Rouge. Now, since that went down, Youngboy had been put on house arrest, and he was doing that house arrest time in Utah, where he lives up on the side of the mountain. Y'all know Gravedigger Mountain. And for most people, that would have been good enough, right? You got caught, you got in trouble, you got some house arrest, you just sit down, you do your house arrest time in a multi-million-dollar house. Ain't no big deal. And for a couple of years, Youngboy was doing that time on house arrest with no problem. He even continued to drop music videos. He really wasn't letting it slow him down at all. But he was on house arrest while that case was pending, right? Meaning that there hadn't been a conclusion to it yet. He was waiting on trial. And during the process of being on house arrest and waiting on trial, Youngboy actually got caught up in some more problems back around April of this year when he was arrested in a prescription fraud drug ring thing that he had going on. In fact, in the words of the news, it was a large-scale prescription drug fraud ring that targeted several pharmacies all across Utah. And because he was already on house arrest when he was wrapped up in this case, Youngboy has pretty much been locked up ever since.
As we have reported, Mark, that he was taken into custody in Cache County, accused of organizing fraudulent drug prescriptions at Utah pharmacies, legally known as Kentrell Galden. He's been on house arrest in Utah since 2021.
Arrest documents reveal multiple other pharmacies across Utah were targeted too. According to investigators, callers linked to Youngboy would call in prescriptions using the name of a real doctor in Provo in some cases, but giving fake patient information. Individuals would then pick up the order from pharmacies, mainly promethazine and codeine. Now the 24-year-old rapper is booked at the Cache County Jail, facing 63 different charges related to this.
Right, so as you just heard, he was charged with a lot when they arrested him, 63 different charges. Now, those would later be reduced to, I think, 48 charges. But either way, that's still a lot of charges. And Youngboy is facing a lot of time behind those charges, right? But that's just one case, because in the meantime, he's still been pending trial for the gun charge that he had. And people have been wondering what the outcome of that case is going to be. And it looks like we're finally getting an answer, because news is just now breaking that says Youngboy intends to enter a guilty plea in that federal gun case, and in doing so, he's also going to have it transferred from Baton Rouge to Utah, which is where he's been on house arrest and where he lives at. Now, his attorney Drew Finley filed the paperwork earlier this week, and chances are he filed that paperwork to have the case transferred from Baton Rouge to Utah for convenience reasons, right? Because that's where Youngboy's been living at. And according to the news reports, once the case is transferred to Utah, Youngboy must continue with the guilty plea. If he doesn't, the case will be moved back to Louisiana. That's kind of crazy to me, because it's like, yeah, we'll only let this case be convenient for you if you'll plead guilty. But regardless, reportedly, he's facing up to 10 years in prison behind this incident. Now, if he gets sentenced to that, he's not gonna have to do the whole 10 years behind bars, right? He may have to do like 7, maybe even a little bit less than that if he gets out out early. But at the end of the day, Youngboy is looking at doing, we'll just say an average of 5 years for this gun case. And who knows how the prescription fraud case is gonna go that he caught. That's a whole different story. But it's not looking good for NBA Youngboy at this exact moment. Now, bro's next court date is gonna be August 29th, unless that gets delayed. And that'll be the court date that he's having in Weber County. And then he has another court date scheduled September 23rd in Cache County. But only time will tell what the outcome of this is gonna be for Youngboy. I can't imagine that it's gonna be good for his career, but it may very well be good for his life. As y'all know, we've seen Youngboy really looking like he's been publicly struggling with some type of addiction over the years, to the point that we've seen him in interviews where he can barely even speak. And while I don't never wish jail on nobody, this might be an opportunity for Youngboy to get his mind clear, to get his mind right, and to try to come back bigger and better than he was before, because he was on a hell of a run before all of this legal trouble took place. If y'all remember 2017 through 2020, there wasn't a song that Youngboy posted that wasn't about to do, if it had a music video with it, like 100 million views on it. And that was just on YouTube. The streaming services were also pulling numbers like that, and he did that for years. And then all of this legal trouble started, and we kind of seen him go on a decline, which is understandable because he's been locked up in his house. No matter how big the house is, he's still locked up in that house. And like I said, this just could be an opportunity for Youngboy to get his mind clear, which is something that I'm always gonna advocate for. I don't like to see nobody out here messed up like that. So I think that that could be a win for him in the long run, but his career may suffer in the short term because of that, unless he's just got a bunch of music in the vault, which I doubt, because I think Youngboy's pretty much been putting out all the music that he records. He's been dropping like crazy until he got locked up. Either way, there's definitely going to be a quality of life change coming in Youngboy's future. He's been running it up for years, living like a millionaire, even though he's been secluded. And now it looks like he's going to have to go sit down, lay down for a little while, sit in that cell, and hopefully he'll take it as a time of reflection. Hopefully he'll just take it on the chin and get out. Now, he still has those 43 other charges pending. Who knows how that's going to play out? He may end up having to do a lot of time behind that, and that could completely derail everything that he's got going on if that's the case. But for now, all we know is that he is going to plead guilty to this firearm charge. He is going to serve some time behind it, unless he gets some kind of time served for the time he spent on house arrest. But who knows if that'll happen, considering that he was, arrested while he was on house arrest. And I'm sure part of the terms for him even being allowed to be on house arrest was that he couldn't get no more trouble. That may invalidate all the time that he spent on house arrest. We'll have to just wait and see. But for now, that's basically it for the story. That's everything I got for you guys. If y'all enjoyed it, y'all gotta drop a like, drop a comment, let me know what you think about it. And as always, it's been fun rocking with y'all, man. I'm out.